Hi, welcome back or welcome to Sidekick COO. I'm Sandra B, your Sidekick COO, and today I'm just going to be geeking out a little bit over some AI tools that I've been playing with recently. So let's get to it. So the first tool that I wanted to show you is this slide deck creation tool. So if you have to create slide decks and you hate doing it or you suck at doing it, this is going to be the AI feature for you. A standard kind of presentation slide deck creator. However, it does have an AI component, so you can actually tell it what kind of presentation you're trying to create, and it will create a template for you to play with and edit and move on with. You can use templates if you have a team and you're paying for their team account, but there's starter templates you can play with. You can import a PowerPoint presentation if you have one. You can start with a blank presentation, but you can also click on this designer bot AI and you can type in pretty much whatever you want here. So I started by putting in this prompt that was explaining the C-level sessions that I offer. So I covered that it's a service that's perfect for online service providers who, they don't have a team right now, or they only have like one or two contractors that they're working with on less than a part-time basis. They need somebody in their business to do strategy with and team planning and assessing their business and just really doing deep dives and finding growth opportunities and all of that stuff. But, they don't really need somebody in their business all the time, and they don't even need somebody to be managing the team. So it's more about helping them grow their business, potentially growing their team, or just with the existing team that they have, finding those growth opportunities and assessing their business and things like that. And I just go on to explain what the C-level sessions include and the price and all of those details. And at the end, I ask it to include a FAQ. When I click to generate this presentation, I'm just going to do it again now because I already did it once, but we'll see. And then I'm going to pick cheeky, why not? And then just create presentation. Now it has a full kind of slide deck that I can play with. It's obviously not perfect because it just from the preview, it looks like it put 2 word clouds in there, which I obviously don't need. Probably don't even need one, but I have something to start with. So what is a C-level session? Who's it good for? Benefits for it. This is supposed to be a process, but it has team people on it. So I'd have to fix that obviously. Maybe having a quote or a testimonial. I could put in any data that I might have as to return on investment of a C-level session or things, anything that I can think of there. A word cloud, I don't get, and then common questions. I can have an FAQ, another word cloud. Can get rid of advantages. So it's saying advantages of an automated system for C-level sessions. It's because I said that I can help with streamlining a business. So I think that's why they kind of put that in there. But you can see just from here that I have a really good basis to start with, that it all fits together. When you're going through it, nothing stands out as bad, right? And then the other neat thing is when you're editing it, you can easily, if I was to move this over, it automatically moves everything else. So if you were in PowerPoint, you'd have to manually move everything, but here it just moves it for you. So you don't have to worry about it. And you can have it add each slide that you're editing has its own little smart editing tools in it. So you can click here to add another item and it just automatically moves everything over and makes it look good. So you don't have to worry about formatting it all and figuring out where everything's supposed to go. And then you can also obviously edit the text and edit background colors and things like that. It is a little bit, because everything is pretty automated, a little bit limited as to exactly what you can do. But if you need to create slide decks and presentations and don't want to be spending hours filling with trying to get everything lined up and trying to figure out what slide deck template to use or how to design a slide, this is super useful. And then they have this variations thing, so you can click it and see other variations of this content just put differently. So this one is a carousel. So yeah, that was beautiful.ai. I'm definitely going to be playing around with it a lot more. But next, we're going to talk about AdCreative. But I think there's definitely some potential here. This one is a little bit pricier, so I don't know if I'm going to be playing around with it too much. I'd have to figure out how editable everything is and exactly what I can do. But I'll just show you the basics that I found so far, because I literally have only played with this a little tiny bit. So I created a brand and then I created this project. What format do you want it in? So you can do it like a pin size, you can do it story size, landscape, post, whatever you want. I picked story size. And then you can put a project description. So I just talked about Sidekick COO and just talking about the C-level sessions stuff. And then you can pick a target audience. So I had put in basically the same target audience that I explained in beautiful.ai. And then I just hit save and continue. And then it gives you this kind of outline here. So you can put in your main headline. So whatever you want your main headline to be, your punchline, tagline, or anything like that there, the call to action, and you can put a specific call to action icon. And then again, you just hit save and continue. So I'm just going to put test and test. And then the other thing it asks you to do is upload a background image. I'm just going to grab one from here, and you can see like it put that in there. And then you can generate with several background images. So if you want to have more than one background image, you can do that. I'm just going to leave it as one for now. You can play around with the cropping of it, and then you hit create post. So I'll just show you my original project. And then so when you click create post, this is what you get. It basically takes the brand colors that you've assigned, the details about the service or the whatever the information you're trying to communicate, details about the target audience, and obviously your headline, your punchline, your call to action. And it creates I think there's 135 different versions of this potential ad or post or whatnot. And then all of them are watermarked, but you can put as many of these as you want. You can see here I've downloaded these 3 and a couple of others below. So I downloaded 5. And that used up, I think, 5 credits. I think with the free version, you get something like 30 credits or something like that. And then you can just upload them to your social media or if you're going to use them for running ads. And you can edit any of them that you want, and you can also render it in other sizes. Now, not all of them make sense, like this one here where it has this weird color overlay. It's kind of very hard to read, and my face is completely covered. That didn't work really well. But all of these other ones, a lot of them work pretty good. And if I wanted to edit anything, I can just click to edit it, and then I can click and edit the different fonts or colors or anything like that. So again, because it's AI, it's a little minimal in all of the edits you can do. Like, it doesn't look like I can go in and specifically edit one piece of text, the color on it, but I can change out the color so that to try and get them to look a little bit better. And then it also has this text AI feature, so I can click English, and just have it generate different text for the story. Pamper yourself with organic soap. It's obviously forgotten what my original product was. And that is the other problem with AI, is sometimes it does forget the plot. So like this, I originally created this project probably 4 days ago. So I'm thinking that if I created this project today and then did this feature, it would probably be fine. But because it's been 4 days, I think it's lost the plot. So yeah, that's a fun little tool to play around with. See if it's something that would be useful to you or not. It's definitely something that I'm probably going to be investigating a little bit further, but I'm not quite sure that it's going to fit into my business. But you never know, it might be perfect for yours. So the next thing I want to show you is just this AutoDraw from Google. And honestly, it has no potential that I can think of. But maybe you know what you might use it for. So literally, there's no sign up or anything. You just go to AutoDraw.com. It loads like this. It just loads blank, I believe. And basically, if you click this AutoDraw pencil here, so it has this draw pencil that you can just draw whatever you want, and it's just going to smooth out your line. Yeah, so it smooths out the lines a little bit, but it doesn't really do anything with your drawing. But if you click this little AutoDraw, and then you try and draw something. So I'm going to try and draw a cat, I guess. And you can see at the top, it's starting to try and predict what it is I'm trying to draw. And you can just draw whatever you want. And then as soon as you see something that you want, you just click it and, oh, I drew a very nice cat. Or maybe I want it to look like this. Maybe that's what I was trying to draw. I don't know what I would use this for at all, but it was a fun thing to play with. If you can think of a use case, I would absolutely love to hear it. I haven't been able to think of one yet, but I needed to share it with somebody, and you are that somebody. And then the final thing that I want to kind of play around with a little bit today, or show you, because I've already played around with it, so I'm just going to show you what it can do, is Noty.ai. So basically, if you're familiar with Otter.ai, where it will join Zoom meetings for you or Google Meet meetings for you and take notes, that is what Noty.ai does, except it has a little bit more AI features built in. When you set it up, you can connect it to your calendar. I'll tell you that it works really, really well in Google Meet, and with Zoom calls, it's a little hit and miss so far as to whether it's going to join or not, but it pretty much will join the meeting at 4 o'clock. You can see here which meetings it's going to join. So I have this weekly newsletter team meeting that is going to be a call that it will join, but I have 2 other calls on my calendar and it's not noting those as calls it's going to join. I haven't figured out that part yet, but I have a thing into support to find out what's going on there. But right now, I think if you find this on Product Hunt, you can get it for, I want to say you can get it for free for quite a few months. Like, it has a really big trial on right now. If you go to Product Hunt and do a search for Noty.ai, that's where I found it. And I have access to this for free for quite a little while. And it's like the full version. So definitely worth playing around with, because when it joins on Google, on the top left corner, you can see it and it gives a running transcription of everything that's being said. And what's kind of neat is that while you're on the call, if somebody says something that's important that you need to note or you want to remember, you can just highlight what it was that they said in the transcription as it's being created. And you can make a little note to yourself that'll show up at the end of the call in the Noty.ai dashboard. So that is really neat, but it only works on Google right now. I don't know if there's plans to make that. I don't even know if it's possible to have that happen in Zoom. Right now, if you use it in Zoom, when it does join the call, it's similar to Otter.ai where it just shows that it's there. And then at the end of the call, you can access the dashboard and see the transcript, and then you'd have to make any notes that you wanted there. But I'm going to show you what happens at the end of the call in the dashboard. So this is kind of neat because it has some AI features built in. So I had a little call with Caleb yesterday, and we had Noty join the call, and it was a Zoom call. So at the end, I came in here and it had the full transcript. And then over here, there was 4 boxes, one for action items, summary, tasks, and decision, one each for those. And all I did was click on each of them and then hit a button that said generate below. And then it generated from the transcript this information. Now, the summary, you can see Caleb and Sandra Booker discussed Noty.ai, and it spelt its own name wrong, probably because I pronounced my T's as D's. And it says, and the possibility of renaming it. And what that's referring to is in Zoom, it just says Noty.ai notes taker or something like that. And I was wondering about the possibility of changing its name so that when it joins a meeting, it would join as Sandra's note taker or something like that, the way Otter.ai does. And it just goes on and says what we discussed. It's not a great summary because it's not, we talked about some weird things in there, but then it has like this tasks feature, and you can see Kayla and I talked about cleaning up the kitchen and putting away laundry, figuring out our KPI dashboard. So we talked a little bit about that. Then this was all him talking about that AI tool thing that he was talking about, just all the different things that it did. So these are not actual tasks. But what I love about this is that it's all nice little nuggets of stuff for me that I can then play with, like I can just take from and create my own task list from it. So it's a lot of nice little reminders. And it also, like if any decisions were made, it'll generate those things. But the thing that I really love is this highlights feature. So you can find any piece of text in here and just highlight whatever, well, actually you don't highlight it. It's all broken up into little text boxes. So just find out wherever any text that you want to highlight and just click the pin. And when you click the pin, you can then write a note about it. And then in this highlights area, it'll show the things. So I pinned 2 different things, and I can go down to this one and write another note. And then you can see the notes about those things show here. And then the beautiful thing is in the end, so you're supposed to be able to hit create, and it's supposed to take this transcript and put it into your Google Docs. I'm not sure that that's actually working right now because it errors out every time I try it. And then also you're supposed to be able to share this transcript and all of the notes and everything. But again, that feature wasn't working the last time I checked it. But what I do like is you can click this follow-up button, and all it does is writes the highlights that you wrote and specifically what you wrote. So it's not giving you the text of the call, it's the whatever note you made about it. And then you can just copy it to your clipboard, or you can click open in Gmail and it will open your Gmail account if you use Gmail, and it will start an email for you with that content in it. So it makes following up after a meeting really, really easy because it automatically fills in who attended. It puts in a subject line for you. So it'll be like follow up to whatever the meeting name was. And then it'll have all of your notes that you put in. And then you can add and edit as you see fit. So that's it. Those are 4 new tools that I've been playing with. I've also been playing a lot more with ChatGPT. I've also tested so many other tools in the last few days. It's been really fun, but these are the ones, well, AutoDraw, I don't have a use case for, but I just had to show it to you. But the other 3, I feel like they are the start of something, and I might be able to use them in my business in some way, or maybe not, but it's definitely worth the experiment. So I want to encourage you to get out there and experiment with the different AI tools that are out there and just see what you can use in your business to save you some time and save you some effort. It's been really interesting to see which tools have been embracing the AI and finding ways to use it within their business, and which tools have not really done it at all. I was really surprised that Otter.ai, which has been around for a long, long time, doesn't really have any AI features. It does a transcription, which everything does a transcription now, and it does a summary, but only if your meeting was long enough to warrant a summary. But it doesn't do anything else. It doesn't pull out action items or anything like that. So I was really interested to see that some tools that I would have expected to be kind of in the forefront of this, kind of hanging back, and others that I didn't see it coming are really moving forward. One of them that I probably should have seen it coming, but I didn't, was Searchie. So if you're familiar with Searchie, or if you're not familiar with Searchie, Stu McLaren is a co-founder of it, I believe. Originally, it was basically just meant as a tool that all of your videos got uploaded to it, and then they were auto-transcribed, and then which made them searchable. So you could automatically have your videos uploaded, so it would connect with a bunch of different things, so that any videos that you're creating, you don't have to download them to your computer and then upload them to Searchie or anything like that. You could just have them go into Searchie, and then it would create a transcript, and then you could do a search. So you could do a search for anything that you've spoken about, and it would find all the videos that had that instance of you talking about that. And you could click the result and it would bring you right to that video where you talked about it. But not only that, but specifically to the spot in that video that you were talking about it. And I thought this was brilliant. So originally I grabbed it way back when they first started for meeting notes and things like that for clients. Basically, I could give clients access to the video replays of our calls, and they could find out, they could easily find anything we talked about, so they don't have to listen to the whole call if they're just trying to get this one little piece of information. Since then, Searchie has gone on to do a lot of, not a lot of different things, but just expand a lot more. So now they have Searchie Hubs, a place where you can store your courses, host your courses and programs and things like that. So you can give your students access, and they can, again, have all of your videos and all of your content and be able to search it. But it's set up so that obviously only certain pieces of content are searchable to them. So only the ones that for the program that they're in. So Searchie Hubs is really great, and it has a lot of interesting statistics that you can see about who's watching what and how long they're watching for and all of that stuff. And since then, they've expanded it and built it out. And one, they created within Searchie, it will look at your video and it will suggest titles, descriptions, key takeaways, all of that. So you don't, and even chapters and things like that. So you don't have to do all of that thinking. Again, because it's AI, it's not perfect. There's still editing that you need to do, but it really, really helps shorten that workload. And now they just announced a tool, wisdom.ai, and I'm going to call today about it because I'm really eager to find out more about it. Today being Wednesday, so this is going to be posting the day after I've already gone. So maybe I'll have to give an update to everybody about it, but their wisdom.ai is going to be basically a chatbot, but you can set up, it sounds like you'll be able to set up multiple different chatbots and feed it specific content from your Searchie platform so that you can have things like a chatbot that your team can talk to find answers to, like for SOPs and how to do things. Or you can have it for your students to not just find information, but to actually kind of generate answers from your content to their questions. So rather than just doing a search and finding videos and having to listen to it and see if that answers their question, they can actually chat with this bot to find the answer to a question they have. And you can also do an external chat, so you can put it on your website and have specific content that's fed into it to help any people visiting your website get answers to any questions that they may have. So I'm really keen to see what happens with wisdom.ai through Searchie. So depending on how that goes, there might be a video about that. But I think next week we're going to get back to some more information about business management. So I'm not going to bore everybody with just too much AI stuff. Unless you want to hear it, let me know in the comments below. But other than that, if this was interesting to you and you enjoyed the content, please don't forget to like and subscribe. Again, always share it with a friend. You never know who needs to hear it. And as always, together we thrive.